The U.S. Constitution is a scam. Part 4 by Humongous. Quote, Article 2, Section 1. The executive power shall be vested in a President of the United States of America. Unquote. If a democracy is a government by the people, why does one person have paramount power here? Quote, the electors shall meet in their respective states and vote by ballot for two persons, of whom one at least shall not be an inhabitant of the same state with themselves. And they shall make a list of all the persons voted for, and of the number of votes for each, which list they shall sign and certify and transmit sealed to the seat of the government of the United States, directed to the President of the Senate. The President of the Senate shall, in the presence of the Senate and House of Representatives, open all the certificates, and the votes shall then be counted. The person having the greatest number of votes shall be the President, if such number be a majority of the whole number of electors appointed. And if there be more than one who have such majority, and have an equal number of votes, then the House of Representatives shall immediately choose by ballot one of them for President. And if no person have a majority, then from the five highest on the list, the said House shall in like manner choose the President. But in choosing the President, the vote shall be taken by states, the representatives from each state having one vote. A quorum for this purpose shall consist of a member or members from 2/3 of the states, and a majority of all the states shall be necessary to a choice. In every case, after the choice of the President, the person having the greatest number of votes of the electors shall be the Vice President. But if there shall remain two or more who have equal votes, the Senate shall choose from them by ballot the Vice President. Unquote. First off, what the fuck? An infant's initial babbling is easier to understand. Secondly, a secret ballot is more easily rigged than a card game in which you provide the cards and none of the other players are allowed to see the hands they're dealt. Third, where is the populace represented in the above? Quote, before he enter on the execution of his office, he shall take the following oath or affirmation. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the office of the President of the United States, and I will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. Unquote. Quote unquote, he, as in a male, will protect and defend the Constitution, which only protects and defends the rich ruling slave owners who wrote said document. Quote, he, the President, shall take care that the laws be faithfully executed. Unquote. Translation, El Presidente will make damn sure the threats levied upon us by the rich slave owners are carried out. Quote, Article 3, Section 2. The judicial power shall extend to all cases, in law and equity, arising under this Constitution, the laws of the United States, and treaties made or which shall be made under their authority, to all cases affecting ambassadors, other public ministers, and consuls, to all cases of admiralty and maritime jurisdiction, to controversies to which the United States shall be a party, to controversies between two or more states, between citizens of different states, between citizens of the same state claiming lands under grants of different states, and between a state, or the citizens thereof, and foreign states, citizens or subjects. In all cases affecting ambassadors, other public ministers and consuls, and those in which a state shall be party, the Supreme Court shall have original jurisdiction. In all the other cases before mentioned, the Supreme Court shall have appellate jurisdiction, both as to law and fact, with such exceptions and under such regulations as the Congress shall make." Unquote. The people aren't allowed to levy the verdict? Quote, "The Congress shall have power to declare the punishment of treason, but no attainder of treason shall work corruption of blood, or forfeiture except during the life of the person attainted." Unquote. The people can't determine who's treasonous? I thought this was a government by the people. Quote, Article 4, Section 2. "The citizens of each state shall be entitled to all privileges and immunities of citizens in the several states." Unquote. Quote unquote privileges bequeathed by the rich slave owners, but quote unquote privileges we already had prior to the implementation of government. Quote, Section 3. "New states may be admitted by the Congress into this Union, but no new state shall be formed or erected within the jurisdiction of any other state, nor any state be formed by the junction of two or more states, or parts of states, without the consent of the legislatures of the states concerned as well as of the Congress." Unquote. Translation: You're free and autonomous, as long as we allow you to be. Quote, "The Congress shall have power to dispose of and make all needed rules and regulations respecting the territory or other property belonging to the United States. And nothing in this Constitution shall be construed as to prejudice any claims of the United States, or of any particular state." Unquote. Quote unquote property? Whatever created this universe owns everything in it. Neither we nor the United States, the latter of which doesn't exist, own anything. Quote, Article 7. "The ratification of the conventions of 9 states shall be sufficient for the establishment of this Constitution between the states so ratifying the same. Done in convention by the unanimous consent of the states present the 7th day of September in the year of our Lord 1787, and of the independence of the United States of America, the 12th in witness whereof we have hereunto subscribed our names." Unquote. Were the people present for or involved in this ratification? Quote, "That the electors should meet on the day fixed for the election of the President, and should transmit their votes certified, signed, sealed, and directed, as the Constitution requires, to the Secretary of the United States in Congress assembled, that the senators and representatives should convene at the time and place assigned, that the senators should appoint a President of the Senate for the sole purpose of receiving, opening, and counting the votes for President, and that after he shall be chosen, the Congress, together with the President, should, without delay, proceed to execute the Constitution." Unquote. Election by secret ballot that's tabulated by people appointed by the slave owners. How fucking weak a foundation are you prepared to build your house on? An active mudslide on top of a pit of quicksand with just enough plutonium-239 to poison the fuck out of you while drinking from a mercury-filled stream nearby during construction? For the sake of brevity, numerous depraved passages from the U.S. Constitution were omitted from the above. Suffice it to say, this document, many of us hold sacred, is the same thing a mafia enforcer tells a small shop owner. "I make the rules, and you comply. If you don't, I will destroy you."